Hey, over here. Hello there. This is NoWintertodt, my efficient Ironman account. I say efficient in quotes because true efficiency would probably be immediately doing Wintertodt to 99 Firemaking, then unlocking Barbarian Fishing and doing that all the way to 99. However, not only does that sound incredibly boring, it would also take around 300 hours to get to that point. Instead, this route maximizes efficiency as much as possible from the very beginning through overlapping quests and diary tasks to level up, while simultaneously unlocking various transport methods and aiming to minimize both skill and gold grinding wherever possible. I'm aware the OSRS wiki has an optimal quest guide, but I specifically chose not to look it up when creating my route, partly because I believe it was made for standard accounts with no trade restrictions, but mainly because I wanted to challenge myself by creating a route based on my own knowledge of the game, one that capitalized on more than just quests. Starting out on Tutorial Island, make your character female in order to save time and money when doing a recruitment drive. Also, make sure you set your Ironman status and bank pin before leaving. Upon getting to Lumbridge, talk to Adam Paul to get your Ironman armor if desired, and then go to the magic tutor. Drop your mines and errands before talking to the tutor to get 30 wind strikes worth of runes, otherwise she'll just tell you that you already have some. Note that you can do this every 30 minutes. Save these runes for any imps you come across, as they drop a myriad of useful items such as the beads for the imp catcher quest, mine talismans, blue wizard hats, eggs, flour, clay, and several others. Next to the magic tutor should be a man or woman. Pickpocket them twice in order to get 6 GP as well as to fulfill a Lumbridge easy diary task. Start X marks the spot at Veos in the pub, then go to the general store and purchase a spade for X marks the spot, as well as a jug that will later fill with water from Monk's friend. Go south and grab the first clue for X marks the spot, then go get the second one behind the castle. On the way, talk to Hans if he's nearby to fulfill another Lumbridge easy diary task. After grabbing the second clue, go into the kitchen and pick up the knife, bowl, pot, and mind rune. While here, fill the jug with water from the sink, which I forget to do at first. Head upstairs to start rune mysteries at the Duke. Then go to the bank upstairs and bank everything except for your coins, bronze dagger, all the mind and air runes, and your starting shrimp and bread, as well as the air talisman. Talk to the bank teller to verify that you don't have to type your pin in every time you world hop. Head out of the castle toward the church to start the Restless Ghost, then head south to the swamp and do Mistle and Mystery by the mine, which gets us to level 6 crafting, as well as a uncut sapphire, emerald, and ruby. The crafting experience is helpful because you need level 20 for Elemental Workshop, and the gems will eventually be crafted into teleport jewelry once we have the levels for them. After completing the quest, head west toward the Lost City Shack. Equip your bronze dagger and kill a level 3 giant rat nearby for its bones and meat. You want to kill the level 3 ones because they have half the health of the others. The meat will be used for a druidic ritual, and the bones for Demon Slayer. Afterwards, continue west and pick up at least 5 swamp tar on the way, which will be used to make swamp paste for Sea Slug, as well as a few other quests later on. Continue Restless Ghost at Father Ernie's shack, and use the drop trick method to get a few extra Ghost Speak amulets as a safety precaution. You can also grab the leather gloves here for Witch's House if you like, but you can grab them during the quest as well. Use the home teleport spell and go southeast to continue Restless Ghost. Afterwards, head back through the swamp toward the Wizard Tower. At the Wizard Tower, head downstairs and continue Rune Mysteries and Restless Ghost. Once you have the skull, you can just run from the skeleton without having to fight it. Note that there's no need to start Imp Catcher right now because you can obtain the beads from the imps without doing so. Before leaving, you can grab a pair of leather boots from the table to the southeast for the big site quest later on, but they can also be bought from Thessalia's shop in Varrock for 6 GP. Head north to Draenor Bank and bank everything. Pull out your coins and go buy 15 to 20 wines from Fortunato for 1 coin each. It'll take a few world hops as he only stocks 5 at a time. These will be used for stronghold security as well as a few quests. Afterward, bank the wines and pull out the spade and mysterious orb to go get the 3rd clue for X marks the spot. After that, start Vampire Slayer, then go upstairs and grab a few cloves of garlic from the cupboard. One's for the quest itself, and then another's for a fishing contest, as well as a couple extras just to be safe. Then go to the Draenor Pigpen and get the ancient casket for X marks the spot. Bank everything and pull out 20 or so wines for the stronghold of security. Walk north to Barbarian Village to preserve run energy, and then complete the first 3 floors of the stronghold for 10k gold. There's no need to do the 4th floor unless you want the boots, which are for Fashionscape more than function. Head back to the surface using the portals and ladders, then go back to Draenor Village. Back in Draenor, buy a Chronicle and 3 teleport cards from Diego for 750 GP total. These will allow us to teleport to the Champions Guild later on, which is very helpful as we won't have 25 magic for the Varrock teleport, but mainly because law runes will be in short supply for quite some time. If desired, world hop to buy more wines, as they'll be helpful later on, and they only cost 1 GP. Bank again and pull out coins, strike runes, the ancient casket, as well as 8 to 10 wines to use as food when thieving men in Port Sarim in order to get level 5 thieving for cake stalls. Head to Port Sarim, win striking any imps on the way. Afterwards, start Pirate's Treasure, then turn in X marks the spot at Veos. Do the steps on the beginner clue whenever available. Conveniently for me, my first step was to talk to Brian, who's also in Port Sarim 2 doors down. Use the XP lamp you get to get level 4 agility. This, in combination with the lamps from Thieving and Kourend, will get us to 10 agility, unlocking the Gielinor rooftop course. Optionally, buy a black wizard hat from Betty at the rune shop. Imps can drop a blue wizard hat, but 3 articles of black clothing are needed for Shadow of the Storm, and this is an easy one to get. Head south to the fishing shop and grab the white apron, allowing you to enter the back room of the food shop to the south. Also purchase a feather for Thieving and Kourend, as well as a fishing rod for fishing contest and a fly fishing rod for future fishing training. Take the boat to Kourend to continue Pirate's Treasure by putting the rum in the banana crate. Picking the bananas also fulfills a task for the Kourend Easy Diary. After heading back to port, go to the back room of the food shop. Pick up the rum for the banana crate, as well as 1 raw chicken for a druidic ritual, and a cabbage for Black Knight's Fortress. After that, go pickpocket men or women into level 5 thieving, which will unlock access to cake stalls. It should take 47 successful attempts. Once you hit level 5 thieving, go back to Redbeard Frank to exchange the rum for his key, and then head south to Veos. One thing I forget to do here is fill the rest of my inventory, minus 1 space, with raw sardines, for both the Gertrude's Cat quest, as well as to feed the kitten we get from the quest. Sail to Kourend and talk to Veos again to start Client of Kourend. Talk to the general store owners in Piscarilius and Archaeus before heading to Kourend proper. Once in town, go to the 3rd floor of the castle to bank everything, before thieving from the cake stalls until level 20 thieving. We're doing this for several reasons. To get around 200 cakes for food, to steal from the silk stall nearby to later sell back an arty for an easy diary task, 15 pieces of bread, 10 for Death Plateau, 1 for Merlin's Crystal, 1 to make soggy breadcrumbs for RFD goblins, and a couple extras just to be safe. To be able to steal from ham members for both the Lost Tribe quest as well as a variety of useful items. Rusty swords for the Arty Easy Diary task, a steel pickaxe, uncut jades for necklaces of passage, coal for elemental workshop, and buttons for animal magnetism. And finally, because the Queen of Thieves quest requires level 20 thieving. After getting to 20 thieving, pull out the enchanted scroll and quill, coins, a bronze dagger or a short sword to kill a couple cows, and a couple pieces of food for safety. Continue Client of Kourend by going to talk to the Lovakenge, Shazian, and then Hasidius general store owners. Go back to Veos, get the orb, and then continue to the Dark Altar. Once done, turn in the quest to receive Koret's Memoirs, a Kourend favor certificate, and 2 500 XP lamps. Use your certificate on Piscarilius and both lamps on Agility to get level 10 Agility and unlock the Gielinor rooftop course. The original plan here was to continue and do Queen of Thieves to skip the early Piscarilius favor activities, as well as some thieving experience and additional 2k gold, but mainly because we'd get 8 free teleports to Piscarilius' house using the Memoirs book, making our future return trip to Zaya a lot faster. However, that requires getting a stew, and we don't have the requisite cooking level to be able to make it right now. Note that although the wiki says, or used to say until I edited it after recording this, that you can buy a stew at the pub west of the docks for 25 coins, this is wrong. You can only buy the stew on Twisted League Worlds. So, we'll have to wait until finishing Gertrude's Cat, which rewards a stew, or visiting Sears Pub to purchase one in order to come back and do the quest. Sail back to Port Sarim and head to the food store to buy 6 pots of flour for Cook's Assistant, Sea Slug, and in case we burn the red berry pie for the Knight's Sword. You can also buy some red berries to make the pie, however they're easily obtainable for free south of Varrock later on. It'll just require some world hopping. For this run, since I forgot to do it earlier, buy some sardines for Gertrude's Cat as well as to feed the kitten we received from the quest. After that, head north to the farm, grab at least 1 bucket from outside the front door, then go to the chicken pen to the west to pick up an egg for Cook's Assistant. Go out the back door to the cow farm, fill your buckets with milk from the dairy cow, then kill 2 calves for their meat, 1 for Druidic Ritual and 1 for Witch's Potion. If you have any spare inventory spaces, pick up the bones for Demon Slayer as well. Head southeast to Gielinor, either on the way or after banking, depending on how full your inventory is. Pick up a piece of cheese in Aggie's house for Witch's house. After that, pull out a few cakes and head over to the rooftop agility course. We only need to get 25 agility for the Grand Tree, but the Ardoin Lock shortcut is very handy and requires level 33. The Grand Tree itself gives 7,900 experience, so if we do the rooftop agility course until 10,347 experience, finishing that quest will bump us up to exactly 33. Once that's done, pull out all mine and air runes, a pickaxe, the chronicle, and the pirate's treasure key. home teleport to Lumbridge to grab 30 more sets of starter runes before using the Chronicle teleport to the Champions Guild. Mine tin until level 15 mining to be able to mine iron ore for Doric's quest. Before leaving, mine 7 clay, 6 for Doric's quest and 1 to later turn into soft clay to craft into a bowl for a diary task. Run east past the Dark Wizards to the other mine, then mine 2 iron ore and 4 copper ore for Doric's quest, as well as 1 extra copper ore to later smelt into a bronze bar for the Observatory quest. We'll get the tin ore later on. Go back west and pick 1 cadaver berry for Romeo and Juliet, and enough red berries to make a few pies for the Knight's Sword in case we burn 1 or 2, as well as for making red dye for Ghost Ahoy later on. You'll have to world hop a few times. Go west past the wizards again, then north into town. Start Shield of Ra by talking to Charlie, then go west and talk to Katrine to join the Black Arm gang. Head back toward the bar and get the steak from Dr. Harlow before going upstairs to open the pirate's treasure chest. Make sure to read the note to update the quest. Then, go across the street to the sword shop, then go up the ladder and pick up at least 1 candle, which we'll use to get Boots of Lightness later on and for quests requiring a light source. Go to the north and browse the Salia store to satisfy an easy dye requirement and to buy a red cape, as it's the only cape we'll have for some time and it gives a minor amount of defenses. You could also buy out her silk supply and resell an Artie later on for double. Then, unless any imps you've killed have dropped a hammer by now, go buy one from the general store for Vampire Slayer and future smithing uses. Start Romeo and Juliet, then start Demon Slayer. Be sure to write down your incantation. Go north and buy a fire staff from Zaf, then go north again to the castle to talk to Sir Pryzen to continue Demon Slayer. Get Sir Rovin's key to the north, then go to the kitchen, grab the bucket upstairs, fill it with water, then dump it down the drain. Go back west to start Gertrude's cat and pick up Dougal leaves behind her house before going to Juliet to get the letter. Head back east toward Varrock Square, but on the way, go to the bank and pull out the research package to continue Rune Mysteries, which I again forget to do here. Go to the square and continue Gertrude's cat and Romeo and Juliet, then go purchase an iron chain body from Horvik to the east for Black Knight's Fortress. Go southeast to Aubrey to continue Rune Mysteries, as well as purchase 500 Mind Runes, 1000 to 1200 Air Runes, and at least 6 Waters and Earth for Waterfall Quest. However, it may also be helpful to purchase around 30 extra Waters and 150 extra Earths to Water and Earth Strike to get to level 13 magic for Fire Strike, as it would be faster than Wind Striking the whole way. After that, go east and steal from the tea stall to satisfy an easy dye requirement. Make sure to keep the tea for the dig site quest. Here I'm slightly changing the original route I had planned and choosing to do the natural history mini quest in order to get 9 Slayer and 9 Hunter now, instead of in combination with the dig site quest. I'm doing this in the event that I get a maze random event, the rewards of which are dependent upon your total level. I don't exactly know the breakpoints nor how much 18 total levels would actually help, but it's a quick and easy activity either way. While in the area, get Sir Pryzen's key from the sewers, then go northeast to talk to Father Lawrence to continue Romeo and Juliet. Head south to the bank to pull out the bucket of milk and sardines for Gertrude's cat, as well as some wines, as we'll be engaging in a particularly dangerous activity in a few moments. Head northeast to the lumberyard to continue Gertrude's cat. Afterward, head northwest and walk along the wilderness ditch until you're north of the Grand Exchange. Cross the ditch and quickly run to the Iron Bar spawn in level 18 Wilderness, to the west of the Graveyard of Shadows. Pick up the bar, then world hop twice to grab 2 more as it has a long respawn time. Since we're a hardcore Ironman, this is a pretty risky step due to potential PKers, however we need 2 iron bars to complete the Knight's Sword quest, and as we don't have the required smithing level to make them, this is the fastest way to get them until we finish the quest, which will bump us up to 29 smithing. Since it doesn't take long to world hop, I decided to pick up a 3rd bar for Death Plateau instead of having to mine a smith one later, since smelting iron bars only has a 50% chance of success. After picking up the bars, run south toward Edgehill. On the way, start the Abyss mini quest at the Mage of Zamorak, then continue south. Bank to grab your strike runes and a piece or 2 of food if needed. Then go kill 20 plus men in the building north of the bank for their bones for Demon Slayer. Along with the bones, we're using this opportunity to get as much magic experience as possible, so that by the time we do Witch's House, we'll be able to use Fire Strike to kill the experiments. When done, bank the drops, but keep out your coins, strike runes, a couple cakes, and 4 sardines to feed the kitten we'll be getting from Gertrude's cat. Go southeast and turn in Gertrude's cat to obtain the kitten, cooking experience, chocolate cake, and stew. Keep the chocolate cake or desert treasure way later on, and the stew for Queen of Thieves. Then, continue Romeo and Juliet by getting the potion and giving it to Juliet. Wait to turn the quest at Romeo until later on, as we'll be back. Head west to Follador, but before entering town, go north near the Mind Altar and kill a bear for its meat for Druidic Ritual. Go south into town and pick up a spade from the housing agency to finish Pirate's Treasure in the park. While in the park, kill a duck to satisfy an easy diary requirement. Then, go east and purchase 6 woad leaves to later make blue dye for Goblin Diplomacy and Ghosts Ahoy. Bank and prepare to knock out a few quests at once. Pull out 6 clay, 4 copper, and 2 iron ore for Doric's quest, the raw rat, bear, chicken, and beef for Druidic Ritual, 1 cheese, and the leather gloves if you grab them for Witch's House, and fill the remainder of your inventory with your mines, airs, coins, and wines. Start the Night Sword at the castle before continuing north, then go north and start and complete Doric's quest to get level 17 mining for the Lost Tribe, then head west to start Witch's House. Before entering the house, go to the northeast to start Druidic Ritual. Go back to the Witch's House and continue it up to the point of fighting the experiments and retrieving the ball, but don't yet turn it in. Go south and continue Druidic Ritual. When back at Sanfu, purchase at least 1 pestle and mortar, as well as an Eye of Newt pack for herb lore, Witch's Potion, and Recipe for Disaster. Go north to turn in Druidic Ritual, gaining access to the herb lore skill. Then head back to Fallador, turning in Witch's House on the way, netting us some juicy hit points experience. Head southeast to Draenor, killing any imps on the way. Buy however many wines you want for more food, as well as 2 to 3 Chronicle teleports if funds permit it. Make sure you have at least 200 GP remaining, or you'll need to pickpocket more men in a bit. Bank and pull out the Rune Mysteries notes, Restless Ghost Skull, the Imp Catcher beads if you happen to have all 4, note that I don't even have 1 by this point. Equip the Chronicle, and then fill the rest of your inventory with bones. Go south to the Wizard's Tower to finish Rune Mysteries, and then teleport to the Rune Essence Mine to fulfill an easy diary task. Start and finish Imp Catcher if you happen to have all 4 beads, and continue Demon Slayer by turning in the bones for the final key. Note that we need 25 bones, so kill chickens in the basement for however many short you are. Home teleport to Lumbridge for several reasons: to get more starter runes if desired, to buy a steel axe from Bob for 200 GP, to finish the Restless Ghost, to start and finish Cook's Assistant. This should bump us up to level 13 cooking, hopefully assisting at least a bit in not burning the red berry pie for Night Sword. Start the first part of Recipe for Disaster as well. And finally, to start the Lost Tribe up until the point of needing to go to Varrock Library. Make sure you keep your pickaxe in your inventory. Use the Chronicle to teleport to the Champions Guild. Mine 4 clay to make soft clay for the Golem, and mine a tin ore to smelt with the extra copper ore we got earlier to make a bronze bar for the Observatory quest. Go north to Varrock Palace, finishing Romeo and Juliet in the square on the way. We're doing this because RFD eventually requires 175 quest points, and since we could fold all the steps in with other things, it just made sense to do it now. Once at the palace, start Priest in Peril. Continue Demon Slayer up until needing to kill the demon, but we'll do that later after Waterfall quest. Then continue the Night Sword by talking to Reldo in the library, and while there, search the book on the northernmost bookshelf on the west wall to get the book for the Lost Tribe. Make sure to read it and keep the book. And finally, go to the kitchen to grab 3 pie tins to make red berry pies for the Night Sword. Head to the altar southeast of Aubrey's Rune Shop to continue the Abyss mini-quest, then go to Aubrey's shop and teleport to the Rune Essence Mine to both satisfy an easy diary task, as well as continue the Abyss mini-quest. Later on, we'll go through Wizard Cronkrity and Ardoyne, and then Brimstale after we finish Trino Village. Go to Edgeville and Bank. Be sure to have your Fire Staff, Wizard Hat, Strike Runes, Coins, Jug of Water, Bronze and Steel Axe, Tinderbox, Knife, Kitten, and a few sardines for the kitten. Go south, hit the lever, and once again to the wilderness we go.